Hello. Welcome to the Holy Grail AMA. We're going to start in about 5 minutes. Just want to make sure we give time for people to come on board. And yeah, so what are your biggest questions on copywriting and business? So this is a Ask Me Anything session, which I always truly enjoy because you never know what comes out of that, and we want to just be there for the community, be there for WYODC, and so yeah, we want to just be helpful, and there's quite a few things I want to go into, just almost like 14-15 years of wisdom distilled into really, I think, four to five powerful points. So feel free to say hi in the comments. Let me know where you're from. Again, I just like to see the international crowd we're attracting. Since we have since transcended our Asian roots a little bit, and now we have people from around the world. So it's close to 10 p.m. my time. That means we're 2 hours from midnight. And the reason we're doing this a bit later during my time is because it's more accessible to the rest of the world other than Australia and New Zealand, where we get hi from Houston. Cool. Hi, Bob. Good to see you. Houston, Texas. Yeah, home of the Rockets. I navigate the Americas through the NBA teams. That's how I know the East and West Coast over here. How is it in Houston so far? I heard it's like oil money, isn't it? It's more of an oil and gas town. Am I right? So yeah, let's keep waiting. I mean, you guys are early. We'll see how this goes. And yeah, just to be with you guys, and yeah, oil and gas. What do you do, Bob? Tell me a bit about yourself. What do you do? Well, we have a bit of time just interacting with a few people here. And I think so yeah, the other thing is really, I also want to know, like, a developer for ServiceNow. Great. ServiceNow is a platform, is it? Let me Google it. So this is a software company, I see. Okay. Digital workflows for enterprises, I see. That's cool. So why are you here, Bob? Is it because you want to enter entrepreneurship? Are you an affiliate marketer? Like why are you here? So I'm just curious. Like, I'm always very inquisitive about the community. Just because it helps me refine my message, it helps me refine my offerings in terms of to serve WYODC a bit better. So yeah, so interesting. So it's IT workflows. Interesting. So enterprises recognize a few of the companies. Even the city of Copenhagen. That's interesting. Yeah, always cool. You've been trying affiliate marketing, paid Bing ads, and landing pages. That's great. Is that, do you come here because of DG Store? Like, yeah, I'm just curious to see. Yeah. So again, in case the numbers are trickling in now, since I started a little bit early, just to make sure everything is fine, because you never know with Facebook. There was a time, I think ClickBank promoted, there was like 5,000 people who just entered the list, and then it crashed. and it crashed Facebook pretty much. So I always have to come early just to make sure that everything's in order. But I think everything's in order now, so I think that's good. So awesome, Bob. So yeah, Oreo Bawahid. Am I saying it correctly? And then Oreo Bawahid Ilom Abiola. It's Wahid from Ghana. Yeah, nice to have a Ghanaian here. Yeah. I actually had dinner with one of the Dacos. The Dacos is the one that basically the son of the one who has Daco Industries, Vernon's son, Vernon Daco's son. I think he controls the poultry or egg production in Ghana, if I'm not mistaken. So yeah, so that was a few years ago. So my heart's very much in the African subcontinent. Married a wife from Zimbabwe. Love Africa. Ghana, I know, is one of the most was one of the fastest growing economies in the world pre-COVID. So that's actually pretty cool. Yeah, you'll be getting your email right sometimes as I joined today. Okay, you want to get into affiliate marketing, but don't know how. Yeah. So yeah. So it's pretty cool. Actually, that's one of the things I'm going to cover in the AMA today. So we're going to do a few questions. We're going to do like a Q&A, ask me anything after this. I just want to share like a quick, almost like a quick like overview of really what I feel are just powerful lessons over the last more than a decade. I've been doing this a very long time. And yeah, I just want to compress it into, and this is probably wisdom you won't hear anywhere else. And the reason for that is just because I'm not your typical entrepreneurship guru. Which means I often say very unpopular things that sometimes either it's very controversial or it doesn't, like, it's because I like to speak the truth. And then, because what I realize is a certain demographic of people always want the truth. And the truth not just will set you free, the truth actually attracts the crowd you want to attract. So I speak my truth. And, because sometimes it's easier to speak either a half truth, or it won't be a lie. Like outright lies, outright lies can get you a lot of money, but sometimes when you speak a half truth that is so sexy that it attracts a much bigger following. But I want to be integrous to that. I just want to be integrous to myself and the tenets that you find and write your own damn check. So yeah, so without further ado, where we will start. We'll start in about 30 seconds. We'll start in about a minute. I'm just going to go into a preamble, and then we're going to go into these lessons that I think are extremely powerful, very instrumental. And if you actually want to succeed in life and you want to succeed in business, I think these are key truths. And so yes, thanks Barbara for that. So I will answer tactical questions, even things like the right headlines, the right funnels, and all those things, which we're pretty good at. But what you find is strategy always trumps tactics. It's the strategy that will help in terms of really guiding your life and guiding where you want to be. And so let's look at. I'm going to take out the iPad and we are going to start. I'm going to do a whiteboard here. And again, keep the questions flowing, keep your insights flowing, and all those things. So really, so what I want to do is basically 14 years. To be just, compressed in, the next 30 minutes to half an hour. And really I want to do that because I want to put you in a frame of mind. I mean, not just Holy Grail is amazing. We're going to make a few announcements about Holy Grail. We're going to tell you a bit more about Inner Sanctum, the live event, and things that are happening as well. But really, what I want to do is give you 14 years of information that would really help. Does that sound good? If it sounds good, just put good in the chat below. So really, right, the key truth, there is a truth. There's a truth that is very, very fundamental. And this is statistically proven. And that is the most successful entrepreneurs in the world. So how many of you are entrepreneurs in the group? Raise your hand, or you want to get into business. Just raise your hand, put it in the chat, as in, yeah, the only way you can do it is put it in the chat. So I want to know. So the thing about business is this. Tony Robbins says that success leaves clues. Success leaves clues, which basically means that if there's a successful person, there are patterns, there are reasons, there are secrets behind that success, and once you identify the patterns, replicate those patterns, model those patterns, you will succeed, right? So now let us reverse engineer what makes the most successful entrepreneurs. And I'm talking about entrepreneurs that have successfully exited, that have transcended, like basically have a business that lasts more than 5 years. And even rarer, lasts more than 10 years and still sustaining profit. That is actually incredibly hard. You're talking about 99.6% failure rate for businesses. Like if you start a business, it might be easier to actually go to do a lottery, to be honest. So the thing is, okay, what makes the most successful business people? And these are factual. So it goes beyond platitudes. Platitudes or slogans, or they never gave up, they hustle, they raise funds, they failed forward. All these are nice and great and good, but it doesn't help you succeed all that much. I mean, having a good work ethic is good. Hustling harder is always good. And you say, oh, they have a relentless vision. Yeah, but there's also a lot of relentless people that are broke. Am I correct? So really, right, then the truth of the matter is, okay, statistically, who are the most successful business owners that have actually done it, that have transcended everything? And this may seem like a shock to you, but I will show it to you. They are those behind 45 to 50 years old with corporate management experience, which means, right, the average let me just draw the average the corporate middle manager that is 45 to 50 years old are the ones that will succeed the most. They're the ones who will succeed. And let me tell you why. And basically, I'm not telling you to go get a job and go into corporate and work there for 10, 20 years with a job you hate. I'm not saying that, even though that might be a good move for a few of you. Like really, if you hit like a regional role in the US or even in Malaysia, in Singapore, I know once because I had corporate experience, and I had a point where business was really bad. That was many years ago, and Oracle contacted me, and it was a 15 to 25,000 US dollars a month job, which is cool, right? Like basically, so you get that security and everything. So, but I digress. The truth is that 45 to 55-year-olds, a corporate suit of some kind, and generally their businesses have a 30 to 40% success rate. Up from from what is it? Up from about 99.6, like a 0.4% success rate. Here's why. So let me tell you why. So let's reverse engineer why that is the case. So there are 4 things that if you're a new entrepreneur, you will not actually have. And the first what they have is mastery, which is how good they are at their role. And when you are in a job 20 years, and you've already put in that 10,000 hours that Malcolm Gladwell talked about, and that is you're actually really good at what you do. And we'll go and go deeper into that because you'll give open doors before kings, that's in Proverbs, and that means mastery actually opens opportunities for you. So they're good at what they do, because a lot of business is not taught in school. There's things like managing a team, negotiating with people, handling egos, knowing to manage cash flow, knowing your budgets. All those things are things that you either learn as a business person, entrepreneur, and suffer along the way because it's trial by fire, or you learn it in a corporate role where you get paid to make those mistakes. And so they have mastery, and in fact, if you actually talk to VCs, even though we looked at Elon Musk or Mark Zuckerberg and all those are the exceptions rather than the norm, because generally, if they're going to give you a lot of money, they usually, in the criteria of the founder is, beyond hustle and beyond good work ethic, is the fact that do they have corporate experience, and do they have business experience? So you, for some reason, if they have corporate experience and a little bit of business experience, they usually get more of the funding. So again, just because corporate gives you skills that otherwise new business owners will not. And then we'll look into the second, which is, I'm just going to go different color here. They have a superior network. So the thing is, when you start a business, number one, with mastery, that means you start a business with knowing the inside outs, especially if your business is the same thing. The second is network, which is very important because you cannot underrate networks, because when the 55-year-old entrepreneur wants to start a business, he goes to his huge network of golf buddies, his huge network of country club folks, those with a lot of money, and say, hey, can you either invest in my company or give me business? And boom, you get a business, and then you make money from the start. This actually happened to me because I started a business with the most connected person in marketing in Malaysia. So I started the agency. We actually had 2 agencies. One, we were bootstrapped, scrappy, and I started another one with a very connected person. And we hit 7 figures in 1 year. 7 figures revenue in 1 year. All because he just called all his buddies, his golf buddies, drinking buddies, and they kept giving me work. So we got to, meet the president of Prudential and all those things. So there's a power in the network. And number three is capital. Number 3 is capital. So basically, when you work often long enough, then what happens is you have enough money, and then you now get deployed into a whole bunch of other things. So because the problem is, if your cash flow isn't good, you can't expand. If your cash flow isn't good, you can't hire. If your cash flow isn't good, you can't have some sort of financial freedom and some sort of control. You'll always be a slave to your clients. Am I right? How many of you feel you're a slave to your clients right now? You can just put it in your chat. Or do you love your clients? Is this making sense so far? And so the last point is they also have a lot of luck. And luck happens to us also. This is actually the great equalizer. Because you could be a dumb as nails entrepreneur, never work a day in your life, be just really, making all kinds of mistakes, and then suddenly you you stumble into this one thing and then you suddenly become a millionaire from that. That actually happens a lot. So you need that luck. And luck is really a matter of positioning, really, because you can there's ways to maximize that luck, which in the corporate realm, that means you know where the rising industries are, you have the insider knowledge on things that are working, and then you position yourself that way. And while you can be unlucky and don't make it, but this maximizes the luck. But luck is a great equalizer. But can you be lucky more than once? Yes, you can. But provided you're not arrogant and you think that your luck is skill. Because that's what happened to a whole bunch of people in the industry, which I would talk about. So these are the 4 things what happens when you reverse engineer the corporate realm and then get that. And this is what happened to me. So basically, all these things I learned really the hard way. And that's why it took me 14, 15 years. And that's with the level of skill I have in the network and luck. Like I had a lot of luck. And it still took me 14 years, 15 years to get to where I am. And I could have shortcut it to even 2 or 3 years if I actually understood this to a deeper manner. So what I'm giving you is, yes, the process is going to be long, but if you have the 4 pillars that we talk about, and we can somehow replicate these 4 pillars, it will help you go a long way in your business. So let me just clear my drawing. So let's go to number 1 now. So there are 4 truths that come from reverse engineering the highest probability of business people. And now we talk a bit about mastery. And really mastery, right, is just about 10,000 hours of learning. And there's no shortcut to it. So basically, you put in the work, you do I was a copywriter for a very long time. I spent a lot of time in copywriting. And because of that, it sucks. When I did copywriting, now I'm an authority in the field. People come to me to talk copywriting. I get business deals that way, etc. But you know what will multiply your earnings is when you have multiple mastery. So this is a multiplier effect. That means you spend 10,000 hours in just different kinds of fields, which is really important. So I had copy, and then I became good at teaching, and I became good at strategy, and because of that, the mastery is what attracts people, which actually leads you to network. But mastery, just to say, mastery is all about learning your skill, being good at your skill, and being patient with the process, being hungry to learn. If you're learning a skill for the first time, I suggest you actually be obsessive about it, especially if it's a skill that can make you money. So you just need to be obsessive. So when you're obsessive about that skill, then you can spend that 10,000 hours. So, and there's no shortcut, really. There's no shortcut in business. Business is a skill. It takes 10,000 hours or more. And sometimes even more, 100,000 hours to get business. So you need that mastery. Which actually leads me to my, let me just, here. My second point, which is something that's actually very key. So, and you need mastery because when you have mastery, what actually happens is your network actually can grow. So here is your network. And what happens, right, is when, in addition to mastery, there's another criteria that you really need. And this is very important. And that is you need to be nice. So mastery plus niceness, that means don't be an asshole. Be nice, be genuine to people, don't be a jerk. because, contrary to the world, even crooks don't like working with asshole crooks. You know what I'm saying? So mastery plus niceness will actually result in you rapidly expanding your network. So this is what it leads to. So why mastery? Mastery plus niceness. Mastery is because high value people want to network with other high value people. That means you need to have something to offer to the table. I mean, niceness helps. So you can actually be nice without being a huge master. Sometimes that actually is your stepping stone. Just be nice and teachable, and you start forming a network. I mean, if you're nice and useless or nice and incompetent, it doesn't get you very far. But when you are a master, and especially if you're a master of several different crafts, that means you have a multiplier effect, then your network increases. The reason why my network is insane, and you probably know my network is insane, those who are part of WYODC, is because of the fact that I'm both nice and that I'm a master of various different things. So, and that leads me to network. And network is pretty much, you need to know people. And you need to know people that are, and this is, you need to come from a place of being genuine or being authentic, and not try to use people, because users don't get very far anyway. But when it comes to your network, always focus on hubs. Yeah. Focus first on the hubs, and focus on what I call on those who are on mission. Those are the two people you should actually focus on, the hubs and those that will help you with your mission or your assignment. Hubs are people that are hyper connected. So I'm a hub. I know the whole world, pretty much. And like my fellow Ghanaian friend, I sat down with probably the son of the richest man in the country, pretty much. And these are routine type of affairs. So basically, when you connect with other hubs, then the thing is basically you have their resources. So if you serve the hubs and help the hubs, which I think is one of my emails, and you say, hey, to the hub, hey, what's the highest value thing I can offer to you? And then it just opens doors that way. And then on mission is pretty much just, it's just basically, you need to find your assignment or purpose. And it's beyond the scope of this. So once you find your assignment and purpose, network with people that will further along that assignment and purpose. Like for me, one of my assignments is, to bring economic revival to Zimbabwe and to Africa and all those things. And we get to know billionaires, we get to know different people who want to change the world, people who want to make a difference. And yeah, it's just and the network is so much better and bigger because of it. So first is mastery, second is the network, third is actually capital. So capital is green because it stands for money. So when it comes to capital, what needs to happen is basically you either amass capital by being in a job long term, or you adopt something which I do talk about, and that is Frankenmind, which is our methodology. It's actually a product that you can buy as well. But essentially, and we'll be doing a class on it in May. But basically what it is when you amass capital by actually being innovative. And basically you're innovative by, and innovation is not just something like a creativity that you just pluck out of the air. Innovation is actually really riding the waves of different technological developments, like let's say AI and all those different things, and really to stand out. So the more you can stand out, then the more money you make and the more capital you will get. That means your business can expand because your cash flow is now more than positive. And the only way for your cash flow to be more than positive, which is why Holy Grail is so important, is then you differentiate yourself from all your competitors. So basically, if you're offering a product or service and there's more than one of you, what would make someone choose you over everybody else? And that is why Holy Grail is so powerful, because it's one of the few programs on the market that leads you here, that helps you stand out, that helps your product, that helps your offer stands out in the marketplace, and therefore you get more capital that way. So let's go to our final point. Is that good so far? Is this helpful so far? Put comment in the comments below if you find this helpful. And the fourth is really luck. And luck, right? And how do you get lucky time and time again is a concept I call ground over seed. Ground over seed. And what that basically means is, yes, sow your seed, put in your blood, sweat, and tears, but oftentimes when your seed hits, really, if your seed ends up right on, let's say, pavement, so no matter what, let's say you have the best seed in the world, you have your seeds are basically like mango seeds or oak seeds or something like that. Like they're just beautiful seeds, right? But when they hit the ground, they don't grow, don't they? They don't grow, right? Like if you sow seed on pavement, on the sidewalk, it doesn't grow. Am I correct? So really, right, all it takes is a single seed in fertile ground that will actually lead to a massive harvest. So the ground which you sow on, which is the market, the industry, the rising trend, whatever, is your greatest determinant of success, rather than the hard work and everything itself. The ground you sow on is so important. So let me give you an example. So WYODC launched because there was a fertile ground, and that fertile ground, unfortunately, has a name. It's called COVID. And more specifically, the lockdowns. And because of the lockdowns, everybody was home. So what happens when I sowed my seed, and it was like how to create courses, how to be a better copywriter, how to basically start how to take advantage of the pandemic. Like how do you develop a new skill? Because in the pandemic, your skills won't help you anymore. So on this ground, what happened was we had trees, giant trees. And because, I've been 14, 15 years in this industry already, right? So I've been in industry a very long time. And I have never seen fruit like that before. When we used to plant fruit, I've been in industry 14 years, it used to just grow like little mushrooms and everything, but never big oak trees. And why? Because there was something called COVID that happened. And then what happened, right? And so in a sense, that's how I got lucky. I just planted in the right ground. But the biggest mistake you can make is to mistake your ground for skill. Is you mistake fertile ground for skill. That means, because of this fertile ground, I now have made a lot of money. I'm invincible and I will continue. So what has happened, and you probably won't know this because, I have all the information since I'm in the industry, is that COVID came and went, right? And so what happened was, the grass is no longer as green anymore. The ground has started to become, the ground has started to become pavement, right? And so what happened is a lot of these companies all crash. So a lot of companies that were making 8 figures, like $1 million+ a month, and then crash. So many of them, it's not just one, like many of them. And the key is basically to keep looking for new ground and replant. So all you water the ground. So a lot of it, why WYODC has survived and why, I'm 14, 15 years in the business, is I make sure that my ground is fertile, I make sure my audience is warm, I make sure that I add value to the community. And so that's what happens. Because the thing, right, is what you really need to know is your past is your past is your past is not the present or the future. The past is not the future. And what that basically means is that, you can't just rely on the patterns of the past to create your future plans. It doesn't work that way. And so with all these people that look at the pandemic, even it happens to the best of us. That's what happens with all the tech jobs that are losing jobs and everything, just because they saw the pandemic, they thought the past is the future, and they just kept hiring, but reality hit. And so again, ground over seed. And those are the 4 things you really, really need to know in order to just be really good, not just really good at what you do, but just really good for just really good for doing business, right? So again, so the 4 keys. Try to draw a key. Okay, I'm not an artist, as you can see. So the 4 keys, right, are really just mastery, rooted in the fact that a lot of the most successful business people are 45 to 50-year-olds, having corporate experience. And why is when we reverse engineer is mastery. You need to put in your 10,000 hours. It's the network. So the more network you have, then doors just unlock. In fact, just a little thing about the network that I thought was really interesting is, the rich, how the rich get richer? And for me, it's one of the aims I think people should have, even though, the rich have a bad rap, is to get into those circles, because your investments tend to make more money when you're from the inner circles. Like, I remember my friend was talking about how he had friends who bought, like, I think it was a bottle of Hibiki, which is the Japanese whiskey, like the 50 years. He had insider knowledge that it will go up in price. He bought the first one for 50,000, second for 120,000, the third one for 250,000. $250,000 for a bottle of whiskey. That's insane, right? but that bottle of whiskey end up 1.2 million. So, and that's because as part of the network, they know when things appreciate. And yeah, so having that network, in fact, you should buy yourself a network. If you can afford it, buy yourself a network, be part of an inner circle. And one of the fastest ways, because I buy myself into networks, because it takes too long to cultivate a network, even though I do it a lot. But that's because I spent 14 years to build a network. And by paying, a certain sum to masterminds, I have an even bigger network in the last 3 months than I did in the last 12 years. And that's what Inner Sanctum is for. And that's what the Vault, which is the live event, is also for. So basically, my mastermind and group mentoring, Inner Sanctum, is really how you get access to not just to other like-minded high performers, but also to my network of people, because my network is loyal to me because I add a lot of value. Number three is capital, which is a function of innovation and uniqueness, and that's what Holy Grail is for. It helps you stand out in the marketplace so that you can earn more. And number four, let's see, I hope I'm not running out of space, is luck. Always look for ground over seed. So the more you're able to ascertain the ground, then the better is the seed. Better is then the more your seed can flourish, because pavement. Putting anything, you plant anything on the pavement and then it just doesn't work, right? Like, so basically, again, remember that avoid pavements, look for fertile grounds. So I think that's it from me. That's the summary of what I learned in 14 years. Let me know if you have any questions about this and any other questions about Holy Grail and everything as well. Because I want you to be part of Holy Grail. As you can see, there's many, many years of experience that I have. And it's condensed into the different programs. Let me just, sorry, I forgot to need to switch off. Yeah, I'm just going to switch off the, let me just, sec. Yeah, forgot that I kind of had to stop sharing. So let me just stop sharing now. And so, let me just go and see if there are any questions. Hey, Heidi, good to see you. Different is better than better, yes. So let me just have a look and see who is here. Sorry, because once I'm on Zoom, I can't actually see the crowd. Yeah. So let me see. Any other questions from you guys? Trends and timing. Oh, Andre, good to see you. WYODC, Andre. I am here. Yeah, thank you. So, how best to reconnect with an old list from a previous company? Yes, you can get the recording, Barbara. So if you're here, I need to clarify the question a bit more. So does that mean you have access to someone's mailing list from the company and you want to engage it in your current company or in your current capacity? Am I correct? Yeah, so different versus better. So how about different versus better? Oh yeah, Andre, we will have our live event. We're on the verge of sealing the deal. So hope you can be part of it. So all Inner Sanctum will be part of it. So Andre's part of Inner Sanctum. Anticipation of trends and timing. For me, I like paid newsletters. Let me give you a few. I'm going to write it in the comments below, Andre. So there's Exploding Topics. There's Real Vision, which is actually an investment newsletter, but it goes into trends because investment trends are trends. So you go into Real Vision and you go into Hustle Trends. So these are my three go-to when it comes to looking at the latest trends. And obviously there's other places like PSFK, some of the blogs and whatnot, but I find paid newsletters are the best because, you know, they're incentivized to find you the latest trends. But networking, in terms of if it's marketing trends, it's in the networks, it's in the paid masterminds. It's in a paid masterminds, like in a Sanctum, it's in a paid masterminds. Like, you know, I joined Anik Singh's group, I didn't join Nothing Held Back, but yeah, Nothing Held Back is another good one. And yeah, so that's what we did, and that's what we do. So really, right, if there's no questions, then really the two things I want to highlight as an announcement is that, number one, Holy Grail has an AI component now. So if you're not part of Eldorado, and you will see the different notices for Eldorado, we now have an AI bonus. So basically, my team has been experimenting with ChatGPT, with all these different things. And because the Holy Grail principles, so what has happened is the Holy Grail principles have been are really, really powerful, but there was a bit of a manual process. I mean, okay, hello, enjoying your content. Describe details of the program. Thanks, Kim. Thanks for being here. So let me just Kim, what I need you to go to is there's a Google Doc with the program itself. So it's going to .me real Kenneth U. Let me just and you just have to type Eldorado. And you just type Eldorado. You will get a document with all the full details and all those things. So let me just go back into the AI, and then I'll address your thing. So basically, so AI, yeah. So the thing about Holy Grail is that it's, I mean, a lot of the top people say it's one of the best processes for coming up with ideas, generating leads and content and everything. But it was a bit of a manual process. I mean, fair enough, right? It was an Excel sheet era and everything. But now we realize with AI, we could automate a lot of the different things, like the idea generation process, the psychic market research, which is the terrain telepathy process about knowing your audience. So instead of going into, like, we will teach you the full process, and then we're going to teach you how to use AI to accelerate the process. So the processes are all the same, but basically you need to do that. So you basically, we just automate everything for Holy Grail, which is just amazing. So again, Simone, if you want more details on the program, just go to m.holy, just go to Real Kenneth View and then type Eldorado. And you should be able to get access. Advice on how to introduce right content for our rebrand to customers. 12 years, brick and mortar, some e-commerce, thank you. So to introduce a rebrand to customers is very fundamentally, you need to, first, the customer needs to know it's from you. The problem with rebranding is sometimes the customer is too used to your old brand. It switches off, like basically they drop off. So what you need to do is you need to just build up towards it. You need to build anticipation. That means stage one, I got a exciting announcement. Step two, what's the rationale of that announcement? Step three, the actual announcement, the rebrand, and step four, the actual rebrand. And the rebrand is usually good if you tie in some promotion with it. So there's a little bit of excitement. So it's hey, we rebranded, and we now have a rebrand sale, or a rebrand offer, or a rebrand package. And thanks to this rebranding, you can get, you know, this much promotions or this package for a certain price, and that's in conjunction with the rebrand. So does that make sense? So the actual program, just go to Eldorado. because there's a lot of deliverables. There's 12 bonuses and whatnot. So probably I don't want to, the details are just too much to share, but essentially it's a program how you can stand out in the marketplace and just be unique, and as I say, generate more capital, generate more cash flow because of your uniqueness. And which leads me to Inner Sanctum, which is, there's 3 tiers to the program. There's Gold, Platinum, and there's the Mastermind tier. And the Mastermind tier is where we have our group mentoring program. And again, you can have a look at the sheet. It's all in that one sheet. But the one thing I want to add to that sheet is that we are doing a live event in north of Malaysia, Penang, which is Condé Nast's destination of the year 2 years ago. It's called The Vault. It's really a live mastermind with some of the top 7, 8, 9-figure guys in the industry, especially in the online offer owner space. And we are going to extract secrets from these guys and these girls. It's going to be actually quite a bit of women coming if all goes well in terms of the speakers, because I don't want events to be sausage fest all the time. And they're going to come with some really powerful strategies you probably won't find in the market. Because it's behind closed doors, you get that. So, and best of all, for all of you, for this time round only, it probably won't happen in any other launch, is if you get the Inner Sanctum group mentoring program, we throw in the vault, we throw in the live mastermind for free. Does that make sense? We throw in the live mastermind for free. Where will the event be held? It's in Penang, Malaysia. It's 1st of June, if you can make it. So we wanted it closer to home this time around. I mean, it's a great holiday if you can make it as well, because it's actually next to Thailand, so it's about an hour from Thailand. So if you ever want to go Asia and you want to go Bali and Indonesia, they're all 1 to 3 hours away. And where it's going to be in a beautiful resort called Shangri-La, we're going to do the videos and everything. But essentially, it's you're getting it free if you join Inner Sanctum. So how far from Vietnam? 2 to 3 hours from Vietnam, Kim. So if I'm not mistaken, it's about 2 to 3 hours. I think less than 4 hours from Vietnam. So it's quite near. So as long as you're Southeast Asia, it's actually quite near. So which is good news, right? Like basically, as long as you're that part of the world, all those Indo-Chinese, Thailand, Cambodia, Vietnam are all in that same vicinity. So it's great if you can make it for that. So again, I mean, I'm not sure how much we're going to charge for the vault yet, but it will be a standalone price, probably $5,000 or something. But we'll give it to you for free. So of course you have to pay for accommodation, food, and whatnot. But actually, food is provided, but you pay for the accommodation and everything since it's at no cost. But it's going to be really worth it. So that's the Inner Sanctum. That's really what the event is all about. If all the guests are coming that say they're going to come, we're going to have a very interesting mix. We have like everywhere from, one of the queen of New York real estate to just a very eclectic bunch of people from around the world. We have copywriters from around the world. We have, we have Andre. We have Europeans, and yeah, we just going to. It's just really, really cool. And so we have people from Cayman Islands as well. So basically we have Cayman, and the Floridans are coming. So it'll be fun, it'll be cool. Okay. Any other questions? So yeah, so if not, I'm going to just check out. Again, just go to m.me. and then type Eldorado. And if you have any questions, like let's say you have, like sometimes you might be, oh, we need to put in money or move money elsewhere to invest in a program, or you have questions, especially about the vault and about inner sanctum and whatnot, then that's where you go in Messenger just to have a conversation with me. All right, so go to real.cannerview. Oh, you're not finding the information. You click the link. Oh, you click the link. Type in Eldorado one more time. So you just, and if you don't remember, I'll manually send it to you because the software has been a bit buggy. So it's been so basically sometimes it's sending one message, sometimes it's not sending a message, sometimes it sends like 3 or 4 messages. So I think there's an API issue. So just type Eldorado. So in the chat messenger, just type Eldorado like this. It should lead you to the Google Doc. If not, I'll just send you the Google Doc directly. Because by now I will have your information. So let me know if it's there. So let me know if you can find it. I just want to make sure that you get it. So Messenger. So let me just quickly check. Okay, I see you got it already, Kim. Okay, let me just D, I know you say Eldorado. Like I said, there's a little bit of bug, so I'm just manually sending to you. Okay, so Simone, thank you. So a few of you have said, okay, got it. Okay, D, I just sent it to you. So yeah, like I said, there's a little bug in the system. We need to see what happened, but because Facebook keeps changing it. So yeah. So have a look at it. If you have any questions, just be in Messenger, or otherwise you can even get the link. Like basically there's a payment link there. Just go in and everything. And we made it affordable for everyone because we know times are a little bit hard. So we have 5 pay options as well. So 5 pay, 3 pay, it's all there. And yeah, I'm looking forward to for you to be part of it. And obviously, if you want to join Inner Sanctum, that will be the best play, just because it gives you, like say, all the different tools, the 4 pillars of a successful business. And yeah. So I think that's it from me. So yeah, I just want to hold you guys too long. I have a 5 a.m. call tomorrow. So I just thank you so much for being part of this. Thank you so much for joining me. And I hope that these business principles will just be very helpful to you. Yeah. When you run something like this again, timing is not good for me right now. Okay, fair. Yeah, so I have the lowest pressure sales close in the world. It's like, yeah, cool. Some people join me a few months from now. Some people join me a year from now. So when the timing is right, the timing is right. So yeah. But it's part of it. Like basically sometimes it's just taking that step. And because those principles can actually take your business to a new level. And that happens sooner rather than later. But then again, yeah, I'm very low pressure. This is how I am. And I just welcome you to the community with open arms when you're ready, Simone. And thank you so much, Andre, D, Kim, and the rest of you, Bob, and all of you. And just enjoy it when you guys are here. Take care, and yeah, hope these things help. I hope this will help you get to the next level and really give you a flourishing business in the times to come. So without further ado, so thanks. Yeah, Simone, you're on my contact list as well. You don't unsubscribe, you will get updates on everything. So to writing your own damn check, this is Ken of you, and I'll see you in the next few days. I hope to see you for Eldorado. So bye and take care.